If I created a book using only Elon's tweets,
Elon's exes?
published that book and got it to #1 bestseller in 3 different categories on Amazon,
We are a #1 bestseller on the jokes and riddle category.
and then did a book signing on behalf of Elon, that would technically make him a best-selling author, thus making me a co-author with the richest man in the world. I did have one big problem though.
We highly recommend taking Elon's exes off the marketplace, as there is a high likelihood that you will be accused of defamation, impersonation, and fraud.
Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, but there's one thing he's not, a best-selling author, and I want to change that. Now, there's a couple books about Elon, but none by Elon himself. So I wanted to get a book actually written by Elon to the top of a bestsellers list, and make him the guy who has literally done it all.
So there's a couple of things we need to decide on if we're going to make this work. 1, what bestseller list are we going to make this book trend on? 2, how the heck am I going to fill an entire book with Elon's words when I've never spoken to the guy? And 3, how am I going to publish this thing?
Well, luckily for me, there are dozens and dozens of bestseller lists out there. The New York Times, Barnes & Noble, Dimmicks, even The Guardian has a bestseller list. But the bestseller list we're going to attempt this on is Amazon. Now, the reason I'm using Amazon is twofold. 1, they update their bestsellers list very frequently, which means we only need to outsell every other book in a category for a very short period of time. And oh boy, are there a lot of categories. Need to learn how to be funny? Well, Theories of Humor's got your back. After browsing the hundreds of categories, I decided that I would attempt this in the jokes and riddles category, because Elon Musk is a notoriously funny guy.
For the prototype at least, I would recommend not dropping anything when you're near it.
The second reason I'm using Amazon is because they literally print and distribute your books for you. So what exactly has Elon given me to work with? The text for this book is going to be anything that Elon has ever tweeted. For example,
I'm running out of memes. Nudes start tomorrow. Estne volumen in toga and solum. I can't pronounce that. But translated means, is that a scroll in your toga? Or are you just happy to see me? I love Canada, which is just Elon wearing a shirt that says I love a. And I knew birds weren't real.
a couple hours later, the book was really coming together. After formatting it and editing it, all I needed was a title and some cover art to finish it off.
Now, a lot of these books in the jokes and riddles categories just seem to be describing what the book itself contains. Rage Comics, Memes 2023. Oh, here's a good one. Text fails. So if we were gonna have a book by Elon, what would that be called? Tweets by Elon, memes by Elon, Elon's exes? Elon's exes? Okay.
All we needed now was some cover art, and after a couple minutes of searching, the only appropriate thing I could find was this beautiful snapshot of Elon hitting a blunt on Joe Rogan. And we were done. Pretty much instantly, the book was processed and available on the Kindle store, which is pretty crazy considering some of the stuff in the book. But that didn't matter, it was time to sell. I sent out texts to everybody I knew to buy the book between 6 and 7 PM that evening. And oh boy, did Musk's marketing team do a really good job, because it flew off those metaphorical shelves. I also asked people to leave reviews to make it look more legit, and they did not disappoint. At this point, I was starting to feel like we'd done it. But refreshing the page after a couple of hours, Elon's exes didn't seem to even show up in the charts.
So it's been about 3-ish hours since I started getting everyone to buy the book, and it is not in the top 100. I don't know how many copies I've sold.
I had sold 28.
A lot of copies have been sold because I've gotten a lot of texts from everyone saying that they have bought the book. Even though they say they update the results frequently, I think this is going to take a lot longer.
A lot longer it did take, but with a little bit of patience, the next day came around and I woke up to a pleasant surprise.
Okay, so it's been a couple hours since I filmed that last clip, and I've just refreshed to see this. We are a #1 bestseller on the jokes and riddle category.
Get in! Get in! Not only is this book a bestseller in the jokes and riddles category, it is also a bestseller in every other category I registered this book for. So it's also a bestseller on the computers and internet humor category, and it's also a bestseller in the comedy category. It's beaten Abroad in Japan by Chris Broad, who's another YouTuber. But the craziest thing is that we beat the Minecraft joke book, which is a book by Mojang, a literal billion-dollar business, and we are ranked #1 above that. Get in!
But there's still one more thing that every best-selling book needs, a book sign.
Since we're doing a book signing for Elon Musk, I think it would only be appropriate that we dress like him. Fortunately, his outfit of choice 90% of the time is a black suit, of which I have. Oh no, I've kind of gotten fat. These trousers don't fit anymore. But that doesn't matter. We're here to do a book signing, not look good. I'm about to cement Elon's name in history, not only as the world's richest man, but also as a bestseller.
Looking questionable, but filled with confidence after just hitting the #1 bestseller spot, we headed out to the only appropriate place to do a book signing.
This may or may not be a picnic rug with pasta stains on it.
The biggest bookstore in Sydney.
With reviews like, expected a list of every ex-girlfriend of Elon's, misleading title, very disappointing, 5 out of 5 stars, there's no way people aren't going to be lining out the door for a copy. Hey there, any space for a signed copy of Elon's X's in that bag? Me, you, Elon's X's, let's talk about it. No? Hey guys, Elon's X's is a 3-time bestseller. In 5 minutes, I can show you why. Ma'am, any space for a signed copy in your bag?
At first, nobody seemed to want anything to do with Elon's X's, but I wasn't gonna leave until I gave away every single copy I had.
You guys got a minute?
And eventually, people started looking.
Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, billions of dollars, but there is one thing he doesn't have. He's not a best-selling author. I've gone onto Elon's Twitter page, taken all of his tweets and put them into a book. All of his craziest tweets into a book, put it on Amazon. We've got it to #1 in 3 different categories on Amazon. Good noises, good noises.
And pretty quickly, we had our first big fan.
My name's Kieran. Nice to meet you. Who should I address this to? Okay, just to you. I hope you spend a lot of time Elon's X's. First book sign.
And just like that, we'd signed our first book. Oh, little did I know I had opened floodgates, because fan after fan began piling in to get their books signed.
Enjoy some time with Elon's X's.
Thank you, brother.
Enjoy looking at Elon's X's.
So when you become rich, I can sell these.
If Elon starts posting about this, probably worth something. Do you have anyone you want to address it to? Like dad, mom, birthday present? Oh, Matthew, enjoy reading about Elon's X's.
This book's really great, thank you.
For shits and giggles and prosperity, brother, thank you. Take it easy.
And just like that, I knew we had made it. I had officially become co-authors with the richest man in the world.
And this is the last signed copy of Elon's X's. Well, Elon, with all your companies and all your money, you can finally add best-selling author to that list. You're welcome.
Alright, we just got back from the book signing and there's one more thing I want to do. I want to send all the evidence of me being a best-selling author off to a publisher and a lawyer and have them verify if I'm actually a best-selling author.
Today's a big day. Today's a big day. We've got some big news. I've got an email here that's about to either confirm or deny everything that's gone into this book. And we're about to open it together. Hi Stanley. With all the information provided to us, there is a case that can be made that you and Elon Musk are now best-selling authors. However, due to the lack of consent presented on the side of Mr. Musk, we highly recommend that Elon's X's be removed from the Amazon marketplace, as there is a high likelihood that you will be accused of defamation, impersonation, and fraud. Under criminal charges, in accordance with Crimes Act 1900, Section 19, Mr. Musk can press charges leading to upwards of 10 years in prison. That's not good.